Hi guys, this is Shemi Maybe. I'm Batch Partner Sharjah Cricket Council and Emirates Cricket Board. Today I'm here to interpret the law number 29. The wicket is down as per the ICC's international playing condition, which is effective since 1st August 2019, incorporated from the Code of MCC Laws of Cricket. Before I get into the law, let me thank my mentor Mr. Iftikhar Ali, who is the ECB's representative in ICC panel, for his continuous support and guidance to bring up this video. So let's get into the law. So in order to consider the wicket is down, it has to be at least a bail completely removed from the top of the stumps, or a stump is stuck out of the ground. So the main condition here is at least a bail has to come out of the top of the stumps completely, or a stump is struck out of the ground or uprooted from the ground by ball, by striker's bat which is holding. It can be any part of the bat, or it can be the bat itself which is not in hand, or any part of the bat which has come detached, or by any equipment the striker is wearing, like helmet, his hands, his person, his arm guards, anything which is onto the wicket, provided that at least a bail is completely out from the top of the wicket, or the wicket itself is struck out of the ground. Now let's consider how a fielder can put the wicket down. The wicket can be put down by a fielder with his hand or arms, provided that the ball is held in the hand or hands so used, or in the hands of the arm so used. The wicket is also put down if the striker strikes or pulls a stump out of the hand, as in clause which is said previously, like a ball should be held in the hand or hands, and it can be put down by an arm of the hand which is holding the ball, which is as replicated on the picture here. See, the wicket can be put on by the hand, or with the ball directly itself, or by the arm which is shown in the picture. It cannot be by a hand which is not holding the ball, or any part of his body which is not holding the ball. So in order to fairly see the wicket is put down, the ball has to be on the hand which breaks the wicket, or on the arm of hand which is holding the ball itself. Now moving forward, let's see the negative conditions here. The disturbance of bail, whether temporary or not, shall constitute it complete removal from the top of the stumps, which would mean that the temporary removal of bails will not be considered as complete removal of the bails, which is the primary condition for the wicket to be put down. So the temporary moving of wicket bails out of the groove and coming back into the groove will not be considered as complete removal of bails, which is the condition for wicket to be put down. Let's see the video here which explains further. Let's take an UAE cricket video here. Amjad Javed bowling to Joyce of Ireland. See, the ball strikes the wicket here. The bails is blown, but it's not removed completely from the groove. It's temporary movement which will not be considered as the complete removal of bails, which is the condition for the wicket to be put down. Let's take another example here, which is a typical example which could happen. The law simply requires the bail to be completely removed from the top of the stumps. The mere temporarily dislodging it does not put the wicket down. A bail being disturbed but not removed is very unusual, but this can happen. Let's see how it is depicted here. The ball comes, the throw hits, the bail is moved onto the top of this wicket. this shall not be considered as wicket is put down. Here it's not fairly put down because the bail is not completely removed from the top. Now let's consider one of bails, which is meant by already a bail is out of the groove. If one bail is off, it shall be sufficient for the purpose of putting wicket down to remove the remaining bail or to strike or pull any of the three stumps out of the ground in any of the ways stated previously, like by ball or bat or anything. So if we consider, suppose there was only one bail left out, one bail was previously down. So in order to consider the condition of wicket to be put down, it's only necessary that the remaining bails to be knocked down completely from the top of the ground. So this is a typical example here depicted. The ball comes through, only one bail was there. The remaining bail, the single bail is put down, which is fair enough to show the wicket is put down. Now moving forward, remaking the wicket. Now, for example, the wicket is put down or both of the bails are down. Let's consider a scenario there. The bail was completely down by some means, and if a wicket is broken or put down while the ball is in play, it shall not be remade by the umpire. Very important thing to be noted as an umpire, that if the bail is down during the play, the umpire shall not remake the bails or the wicket until the ball is dead. So umpire shall not put it back when the ball is in play. However, any fielder may put it back while the ball is in play. Like he can replace the bail or bails on the top of the stumps, or put back the stump onto the ground if it is already struck down, and that bail which he has made up is enough to put the wicket down back again. Now let's see how it has been depicted in this picture. In the event that both bails are already off, a fielder can replace one or both the bails and then remove it again with the ball or ball in hand, or he can make this wicket which is out of the ground or which has already been uprooted, he can put it back and put it down again in order to consider the wicket to be down. Now here in this picture we can see completely here how it is being depicted. The fielder is making the bails and he is putting it back down, which is fair enough to consider the wicket is fairly put down. Now moving forward, dispensing with the bails. So now, for example, in some windy conditions, like it is sometimes difficult to keep the bails, and if often falls down, umpire can decide to take off the bails. Now here, now the condition which we were talking is that it is mentioned in law number 8, which is wickets. Now what are the conditions if umpire decides to dispense the bail? The condition is that it has to be dispensed from the both ends. So it cannot be, the umpires cannot just dispense the bails from one end and keep at other end. No, it has to be dispensed from both the ends. So if in unlikely event or in a weathery conditions, if umpire decides to dispense the bail, it has to be dispensed from the both ends. Now moving forward, now after dispensing the bail, how the umpire can consider the wicket to be put down. Earlier we know the condition was that the bail has to be completely out of the groove from the top of the stumps, or the wicket itself is struck down. Now here the bails has been removed. Now here the umpire itself should be satisfied that it's enough to consider the wicket has been put down by striker's bat, person or clothing, whatever which has been mentioned earlier. This is the concerned umpire to decide and to be satisfied that wicket has been put down. Or if wicket has been already broken or put down, as mentioned earlier, shall apply to any stumps or stumps in ground. Any fielder may replace it similar way which we have done previously in terms of bails or wicket to be put down. Now here, let's see, here there is no bails. So what happens is that here when the throw comes, when it happens, in order to put the wicket down, it is necessary for the wicket to be seen to be contacted by the ball or any other object capable of putting the wicket down. It does not matter whether had the bails been present, the force of the contact would have been enough to dislodge them. Now what it says is that in very windy conditions, the umpires may decide to dispense the bails if they are keep being blown off. When they do see, they must remove the bails from both ends. As I mentioned before, the condition for it as per law 8.4 is that it has to be removed from both the ends. And when this happens, in order to put the wicket down, all that is necessary is for the wicket to be seen to be contacted by the ball or any other object capable of putting the wicket down. It does not matter whether had the bails been present, the force of the contact would have been enough to lodge them. So that's it about the law of 29. Now let's recap law 29 here with this video, which is as per the MCC law 29, the which shows how the wicket is put down. Now, as I said before, the wicket can be put down either if the one of the bail is out of the groove, or the wicket itself is struck out of the ground by its bat, by the bat itself which is flown from the batsman, or by its person, equipment, or by a fielder by holding the ball on the hand. However, if the bails comes back to the groove after temporary moving, will not be considered as wicket is put down, and it can be given as not out. And over in all, the wicket can be put down as once the bail is completely, either of the bail is completely removed from out of the groove from the top of the wicket. To further understand this law, just visit MCC's laws of cricket to go further into the law. Moving forward, we can see that nowadays we are using LED bails. So use of LED bails is mentioned in Appendix D of ICC's playing condition, which LED is used to indicate the wicket is broken. Now in para 4.2, where LEDs are used for third umpires to consider where the wicket is to be put down, the moment at which the wicket has been put down shall be deemed to be the first frame in which the LEDs are illuminated, and our subsequent frames shows the bail permanently removed from the top of the stumps. It would just mean that glowing of a light doesn't mean that the wicket is put down. The condition here also remains same. The bail has to be out of the groove. So when third umpire considers the condition for wicket to be put down, the frame which starts from the illumination of first light will be deemed as the first frame which is LED is illuminated, and subsequent frame which should show that bail has been completely removed. As in all, simply the condition is the same for the bails which is using LED lights. It has to be put out of the ground, out of the groove of the top of the wicket, or the wicket should be struck out of the ground in order to fairly consider the wicket is being put down. So that's it, low 29. I hope